So, Sean, from your experiences in working with the North Korean military, what do you think are prospects for relationships between the United Nations Command, which includes the United States, South Korea, and the other 17 sending states, and North Korea?
I think that we're in a difficult time right now because I think that the relationships between UNC and the US and the ROK and North Korea, they're going to follow the leadership. And right now, there's not a lot of dialogue at the highest levels, at least not a lot of public dialogue. We were very fortunate from 2018 to 2020 that that the leaders decided to have some engagement. And what happened then is that I think that from the North Korean perspective, if their leader was engaging, then they had more of permission or freedom or ability to be engaging. I'm very grateful that General Brooks and then General Abrams included the JSA team in a lot of that dialogue and negotiation. Historically, our role would be to secure those things. But sir, as you know, as UNC headquarters moved down from Seoul, it became a little bit harder for folks from UNC to always get up to Panmunjom. And when they asked the JSA to sometimes participate in these negotiations side by side with UNCMAC, it helped us get an understanding of our counterparts. Yeah. And while I think that there's difficulty at the strategic level right now, I believe that when the window is open, the people there are willing to talk and engage. And what we found through over 40 engagements with North Koreans, and that's not just a handshake at the line, but spending 8 hours across the border, conducting some demining operations with the North Koreans. There was actually a time in October of 2018 where US soldiers, South Korean soldiers, and North Korean soldiers were working together on a combined demining operation. And it was amazing. And the world didn't really get a chance to see it. But in those interactions, the North Korean soldiers became curious. At first, they were cold and very, very formulaic. They would only say what was in their notebook. But when you're stuck in the rain for 8 hours together, you start to ask questions about families, experiences, ambitions. And it was just a very human moment between people that we've been taught, are evil. And in fact, at one point they said to us, "You are so different," you meaning UNC soldiers, ROK and US soldiers, "you're so different than we were taught you would be." I mean, they are taught from a young age to hate us. And so I think engagement is the only possibility. And I think that Camp Bonifas and Panmunjom has an important role to play in trying to reduce the tension there to allow UNCMAC, the UNC commander, the ambassador, and all to have some dialogue. So right now, it looks like it's tough, but I'm very hopeful about the possibilities.
Well, you brought up a really good point, that the difficult mission of the security battalion there, because you got to be ready for any kind of kinetic action there at Panmunjom, but also ready for engagement and dialogue. I mean, totally different missions, but you got to be equally prepared for both of those. And I appreciate your perspective on that.
Yes, sir. Could I just add one thing?
Please.
Kind of running through all these questions about, how does then influence now, and how does Bonifas and Barrett influence today? I was lucky to be, the commanders and command sergeant majors of the unit have stayed in close touch, and I was lucky to be on an interaction between the current commander, Chris Mercado, and Beth and Andrew, where he said, just this morning at PT, me and my sergeant major were talking about Art Bonifas and Mark Barrett. And so it doesn't even have to be an event. It doesn't have to be the memorial that we're going to all, enjoy tonight or remember tonight and tomorrow in Korea. But literally every day, the presence, the influence, the inspiration is there.
Well, there's no doubt that Marcia, Beth, and Andrew have such a huge part in that, and that connection that is really alive there.